As we age, the last thing we want to lose is our identity, our sense of purpose. And even if, say, we have Alzheimer's or dementia, that's especially important. And as our next guest will tell you, senior living shouldn't be one size fits all. And joining us from Brookdale, Tankerville is Divisional Dementia Care Manager Leslie Fuller. Leslie, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me today, Alex.
Pleasure to have you. So we have these wonderful communities that really embrace people, no matter what stage of life they're in, no matter what issues they may have otherwise. So let's talk about Brookdale and what it really does for its seniors and its clients.
Sure. Well, Brookdale is the nation's largest senior living company. We have over 1,100 communities across the nation, and we serve seniors in 4 different levels of settings: independent living, assisted living. We also have our skilled nursing, and then there's our memory care, and that's my passion. That's what I focus on.
And what is memory care specifically?
So memory care is a community setting for those with Alzheimer's and other types of dementias. It's a place where they can still celebrate being them and their uniqueness, and we assist them with what they need, but we also really encourage their independence and maintaining the skills that they still maintain.
Now, you know, people all the time consider different types of senior living communities, but why is it important to consider one with memory care, enabled and memory care facilities?
Sure. People with dementia oftentimes in society tend to become very alienated and to themselves, and there's a lot of depression that goes along with it. You can imagine if you all of a sudden, if over time you weren't able to process things like you wanted, and they very much understand that they're having these challenges. And in a dementia care community, or memory care community, we support them in really maintaining their identity, maintaining purpose in life. We talked about community. It's so important for them to really feel a part of belonging to where they live, and just supporting them as much as we can in all of their passions and desires.
And supporting them in an individual way. So why is it so important to have it be individualized like this?
Well, if we want our residents to truly be living and be content, they need to be celebrating the passions and the relationships and roles and recreation that they've had throughout their life. So our goal is to focus on those individuals and get to know them very personally, work with the families and them to find out, were they an introvert, were they an extrovert, what are their fears? They still have passions and fears. They need humor. So finding out what's important to them and then creating a calendar of events that's focused on their interests, not just what we think would be fun.
Well, and you have to have people there, staff that really care about their residents. So really quick, tell us about the staff and what makes them different, what makes the experience for these seniors different.
Well, the staff have to come to us. We interview pretty carefully. They have to have a true compassion for the human spirit and for helping people to maintain self. And we as Brookdale, we have tremendous amount of training that we do, not only when they start working with us, but on a daily basis, a monthly basis. And that's where I get to do is go across the country and train leadership so that they too can train the staff.
Leadership, world-class people to take care of these seniors, of these residents. And so give us a couple examples of residents and their experiences.
Well, we look at personalizing care. I think of one of our communities, our maintenance director partnered up with one of our residents who had been a safety director at where he worked all his life. So as the maintenance director is going around, doing rounds, checking fire extinguishers, pulling fire alarms, that resident was part of his team. And he was his assistant. And he really genuinely was giving back to his community and still being a part of it. I had one of my favorite residents. I was an executive director, and she was a teacher. And she was not able to speak much anymore, but she would come and sit at my desk half an hour at a time, and she would reorganize my things on my desk. She'd read my computer. I would chat with her. I'd ask her about her students, and just helping her to feel this is her place and she's definitely at home here. It's finding those nuggets for every individual resident and how we can make it special.
It's powerful. It's helping them continue their legacy.
Absolutely.
And it's doing it in a great, safe environment to be able to do that. So how many communities do you have around Tucson?
The Tucson area, Brookdale has 6 different communities. 4 of those communities have memory care available.
Okay, very good. And in the last minute or so we have left, what would you tell people to encourage them that Brookdale really is different? Brookdale is somewhere you should consider that'll be the best option for somebody?
Absolutely. You know, like I said, we start with our training with our staff day one, asking them a question, who am I? Because we need our staff to understand how important it is to have their own identity and then be able to translate that to our residents. We're constantly in everything we do, from a dining standpoint to maintenance, to daily life, to acknowledging them as individuals, because bottom line is this is their home and we happen to work there. They don't live where we work. So the person they were before the disease is the person they deserve to be with it.
What an incredible way to put it. It's enriching, it's going to help them live a full life, and it really is a wonderful place for anybody to live out their legacy.
It is.
So thank you so much for joining us today. I'm going to give them a little information on how they can sort of come and tour some of the communities.
Absolutely.
And get,
come for a visit.
Exactly. Get a real taste of what it's like. So thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome. Thanks, Alex.
Absolutely. Now, you are invited to tour any of Brookdale's communities by calling 520-330-3238 or by visiting brookdale.com.